Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions. He's got answers. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinkerer of things. We are Old Man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline, and we have the Midnight Collective with us together. Aleya, SOB Zenieris.
Yeah.
Stand on business. Arjuna Dawacha. Ramgopal. You know, Arjuna, What If is coming back.
Mm-hmm. And we're all very excited.
That's your show.
I wouldn't go that far.
Do you remember the part in The Watcher?
You mean What If?
And What If?
Right.
So this is like one of my favorite parts of any Marvel television show ever. Seriously.
Okay.
The part where the Watcher realizes that Ultron can see him.
Oh, yeah. He's like...
And he's legit shook. He's I laughed so hard. He's like, wait. Is this motherfucker looking at me?
And it's just like he dumps his head a little bit. He's like,
he's like, is he looking at me? And all of a sudden, Ultron can see him. I felt fear for him.
Through the glass.
And then it's like, it was good. That first season of What If was good. I don't care what you got.
There were some good ones in there, yeah.
It. Also in the collective, Jonathan Hot Black.
Hot Black.
Okay. Well,
Hot Black.
it's better than calling him a tar baby like it did last
I never
week.
called him a tar baby.
You kind of did.
You pretty much did.
Kind of did.
Kind of did by saying that I wouldn't, but I'm going to say that anyway. That's what he did.
Steve.
Why are you more mad at me than Jomi saying you did?
Why do you think?
You know
so?
why.
just say.
I can't agree.
Nah,
All right.
just you like. Come on, man.
Okay. Today is a day of silence.
And we are the Midnight Boys. Pew, pew. Follow us on socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Save Jomi's job. Jomi?
Hey, we finally got to 30K on TikTok. We're there. 40K on Instagram, 30K on TikTok, 30K on Twitter, man. We're doing our thing out here. Appreciate you guys for following. Continue to do so.
You're doing a good job over on the socials, Steve. You agree?
Yes. He's done it since day one.
Day one.
Yeah. What's your strategy for socials? Like, how do you get people to sign up and do the whole thing?
I get on this podcast and I beg, clearly.
No. But there's got to be a
Begging
different
works.
strategy than that, right? Because like people wouldn't just do it just because you asked. There's got to be some value for them. How you do it?
The value is you guys. You know, we come
No,
out here, we make some good content.
I think he laid the groundwork on the TikTok front by making some very good memes and making some out of some good sounds that were working.
Yeah. Before we went to video, it was hard.
This is how I know that this is a true relationship right here. Because I asked you a question, expecting an answer from you.
And I just helped him out.
And your white man answered for you.
Like designated white boy. That's right.
Designated white man.
This looks right now like you're in the NFL draft right now. It does. What are you looking forward to your rookie year? Well, I'm really looking forward to. He wants a team that has a 4-3 defense. Been around for a long time. We're kind of looking for. I'll tell you something, right? This could be the crucial call right here. Let me take this call right here.
Oh, Carolina Panthers? No.
Get away from the cameras, Jamar. We're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You can watch Midnight Boys every episode of House of R on youtube.com/@Ringerverse. You guys can also watch assorted other content that we do as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to do a short video essay for the YouTube, what would it be on? What would you do?
I would do it on Sifo Dyas and how he's the worst Jedi of all time. That's not like totally true, but it kind of is though.
Okay.
Because like he set the whole thing in motion.
I think Anakin Skywalker's the worst Jedi of all
Worst
time.
Jedi, interesting. Some would argue different.
Yeah. I think he's the worst Jedi ever.
Mm.
And look, some would say most people that are the worst at something, they're very important at it.
Yeah.
Because if you're bad at something and you don't matter, then who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
He's a very important Jedi, but he's the worst Jedi ever.
A useful bad Jedi.
Well, I mean, I see a point because like he did do all the Clone Wars stuff, but then at the end there, he kind of killed a whole bunch of children. So
Killed a whole bunch of children.
Yeah.
And helped a lot of the Jedi get killed.
yeah.
Also, like a generational warfare after that.
yeah,
It's tough.
it's
Mhm.
hard.
No arms, no legs. It's tough. What about you, Steve? What would be your video essay if we're going to do standalone video essays for the YouTube page?
It would probably have to be how like tradesmen and the labor force of Gotham and how that actually needs to be like. I would actually make a good political pitch for the city of Gotham and actually try to figure it out.
Like, what is this? This is interesting to me.
I think it would probably have to be like infrastructure, like really good, like giving people like. I think the job market in Gotham's terrible.
Okay.
We talked about this last week where we were like, okay, well, the goon market is insane.
No, what's funny is you guys, you look at that like that wouldn't be a big video.
That
People
could work.
would watch
People would-
that
people
goddamn
would watch
shit.
it. People
Okay,
would
we need
watch
to
it.
give these goons jobs,
Right.
like good, hardworking jobs.
How do you? That's true. Like,
Yeah.
do you start building
What?
more buildings in Gotham?
Outside of Wayne,
Right.
what Fortune 500 companies are in Gotham?
Like philanthropies or just like big
no,
industry?
no.
It used
What
to be a
drives?
steel- it used to
What
be a steel
drives
town,
Gotham?
right?
Is Gotham a steel town? Is Gotham a? Because Wayne is all in all kinds of stuff.
I could have sworn that it was like a big
Is it a steel town?
Yeah, and then like it was kind of like not Detroit with like the auto industry, but like
Yeah.
it was like the fact that like a lot of those things got shipped off to other cities.
I mean, you got like Cord Industries, Ace Chemicals,
Ace Chemicals.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
That's a big
Taggart
deal.
Industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ace
You
Chemicals
know.
is just fucking around.
LexCorp, Queen Industries.
LexCorp is in Gotham. It's got probably, but LexCorp.
I mean, it's probably
They got subsidiaries.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, House of R will be giving you their deep dive into the Penguin finale, and oh baby, that's a doozy. You're not gonna want to miss that one.
Mm-mm.
You tune in for my sisters, Mal and JoJo and Mal, as they get to the bottom of this show. There's a lot of stuff here in the finale. November is upon us, and Min Edition will be covering Arcane and different shows every single week this month.
Yes.
right.
Big emphasis on Arcane. We're very excited.
So the big emphasis is on Arcane, and then there's another show with Arcane. What's the other show?
Oh, it's a secret. We can't tell you.
You can't tell us what the other
Can't
show
tell
is?
you.
What does it
You gotta
begin with?
tune in.
What's the first letter of the name of the show?
V.
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 Okay. So the first name of the show is the first letter of the show is V.
Actually, it might be. It's the
Okay,
Legends.
let's move on. But you don't even know the
gotta
letters
give it away.
of the show. But on today's show, see, I got through that without getting into too many tangents because we got to get to this. There's a lot of stuff
Yes, sir.
A lot
going on,
going
guys,
on.
right
A lot
here.
going on.
We're giving you our reactions to the season finale of The Penguin. It's time for the Penguin Instant Reaction. We're going to start with the spoiler warning for DC, Matt Reeves' Batman, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, Jared Leto's Joker, the other Joker that was in the Batman for like 5 seconds. What's that guy's name again?
Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan. I like him. He was in the Eternals. Like all of that,
Yeah.
all of these different things. We're spoiling it all right now. If you don't want to hear it, tune out. We're getting ready to talk about
The Penguin.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. Okay, it's time for the Midnight Manifest. Now, last week was a historically long and dense Midnight Manifest. And I'll tell you something right now. We're not going to do a replay of that, Jomi. You get in here, you get in and you get out. Okay?
Right.
I'm gonna
Like,
just
No
go
case in the
it's
joint.
it's like
Tell you what happened.
Jomi,
Just tell you what happened in the episode.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm going to cut the manifest. But last time, the manifest was almost as dense as the episode. Jomi, get in and
if
get
a lot
out.
happens in the episode, don't.
You
don't
got
get mad at
30
me.
seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds
It's the
on the
series
manifest.
finale.
Arjuna, is that unfair to see? Was
I think you should give him 60 seconds.
60 seconds on the manifest?
I can do
The
that. I can
watch
get
it
60 on the
says.
clock.
I can get 60.
All right, manifest, go.
This is the Midnight Manifest for the series finale of Penguin, Episode 8, Great or Little Thing, directed by Jennifer Getzinger and written by Lauren LaFranc. We begin with another flashback episode, shocker, as Frances tells Rex that she knows that Oz left his brothers to die. Rex offers to take care of it for her the next night, but after Oz promises to take care of her, she calls it off. Back in the present day, Sophia has Oz and his mom tied up and wants them to share their truths. Oz's mom shares hers and collapses, and he uses that as a means to escape. Sophia offers every gang in Gotham the chance to be in charge of the drug trade if they capture Oz. After an uplifting talk from Vic of all people, Oz goes to City Hall to get Councilman Hattie's help for a cover-up. Sophia burns down her family home and is ready to jet off to Italy, probably. But twist, Oz's guys kill Sophia's guys, and we find out that Vic, Oz, and Link have cooked up a plan that left Oz in charge of the drug trade in Gotham. Sophia is arrested, and Oz goes to celebrate with his mom, only to find that he has a stroke.
2,
and
1. All right, we're over time.
Oz's mom had a stroke. She's in her unresponsive state. Oz then kills Vic. We find Sophia back in Arkham getting a letter from her half-sister named Kyle. And Oz has the penthouse that he's always promised his mom all these years ago, as you see a bat symbol in the sky.
There you go, Jomi. Give it up for
Your
Jomi.
midnight manifest.
It's fantastic. All right. Kerm, what'd you think?
Great start.
Bro,
Jesus.
real fucking cinema, man.
Wow.
I was really taken on a ride this episode all the way to the end. Like, choosing to have Vic die here is really bold. I didn't realize this was a single season of television. I thought that like we're gonna have multiple seasons of The Penguin. So that ending had me really shocked because I'm like, where do you go from here? But again, real cinema.
Man, the entire episode, I was just like on the edge of my seat, wondering like how this was gonna play out for all these characters, Vic, Sophia, and Oz. And I mean, we said it last week. I thought that I knew Oz would end up on top of all if he lose. And man, he lost a lot. You know, what does it take to be the kingpin of Gotham? It's probably not worth it, but this episode of TV was spectacular.
I completely agree. It was bold. It was at times shocking, but completely entertaining, and it like an incredibly well told final episode of television. Like there were kind of like slowing down, like wheel spinning moments throughout the season, but again, if you stick the landing like this, I'm gonna love your season.
Did you guys get the Penguin origin that you wanted?
No, but like this was definitely one that I loved.
I mean, talk about it.
I think so, right? They always talk about how grounded this world is and how
No. I mean, specifically to the origin of this character. Did we go from understanding Oz Cobb as Oz Cobb to at the end of this, looking at him as not a completely fully formed member of Batman's Rogues Gallery, but is he the Penguin to you now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it weird to me that I almost don't think of this as an origin story? Because not to say that these characters didn't develop or grow, but a radical change did not happen for Oz.
Killing Vic made him the Penguin.
I kind of disagree.
Give it to me.
I think that he's always been this way, and he's been this way since the beginning. The only thing that actually changed is the fact that Vic grew and got closer to Oz to a dangerous degree. The only thing that we learn so much about Oz, we learn so much about him, but the idea that he's been this way since he was 12 years old, and the only person that's going to be that important to him is in a vegetative state in a penthouse in Gotham. Yeah. And the only other person that's going to get even remotely close to that goes away.
When I say killing Vic made him the Penguin, I don't mean necessarily that he wasn't the Penguin before.
Sure.
And then he became the Penguin, although that's how you would interpret that.
Sure.
I mean, for us.
Sure.
Because they were going to have a problem with this character moving forward if we're just talking about the killing of Vic.
Yeah.
No, not logistically, but about the fact that he was kind of the hero of this story. There's a long sequence here, or a montage in this, where in a very Godfather-esque way, where all of the heads of the families are killed. Who are they killed by? People that are overlooked, that have been stepped over, that have been like
Great
second
sequence.
class to them, right? Fantastic scene. That is a very sympathetic idea, that these people were compelled to do this because they have been marginalized or overlooked or put in the back.
Yeah.
That kind of makes Oz into a hero a little bit. He is imbuing power into people that are then taking that power and, like, you know, in very brutal ways, but usurping it from people that don't appreciate them. That's something that a lot of people can like identify with.
Yeah.
His mother, that relationship in this episode, his mother stabs him. Oz is once again put in a sympathetic situation. He kills, or he gives Sophia up. By the time he gives Sophia up, he doesn't kill her. Killing Sophia, I was like, at that point when he doesn't kill her, I was thinking, I'm not. I want him to be Batman. Like I don't like it was weird that like you're heroing your villain and you're doing it in a way, and then he kills Vic.
Right.
When he kills Vic, it occurs to me.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, I'm sorry I bring it up, it occurred to Tony Soprano after like season 3 or 4.
Yeah.
This guy is no fucking good.
No.
He's no fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter that he has a clubbed foot. It doesn't matter that he had a tough childhood. It doesn't matter that he has a fucked up outlook and people have been stepping over him and using him. None of that matters. He took somebody completely pure, corrupted them, and after he had used them for what he needed them for, with his bare hands, he choked them out.
Yeah.
He's pure villain.
And then he took the money out of his wallet.
And then
took the money out of his wallet and threw his ID in the river.
Him and stood. He's a petty, common thug that you can't have pain with. He's a pure villain. And that to me was the moment in the show, I'm not saying anything profound, that he became the Penguin.
Right. It's illustrated so well for us to see something like that fully formed. Because we kind of were watching this show waiting for like him to put the top hat on and the monocle and find the thing that actually made him the Penguin. And it's actually the thing that he's been the entire time. It's just when the stakes get ratcheted up and all these people get so close within his orbit, like a magnet, it's pushed back away by the force that he is.
Yeah, I think the Vic killing is like the main thing, but a part of Oz's journey and part of like Oz's story that I love is that we talked about every single week we talked about the show is his ability to make stuff happen with his back against the wall. He goes to the councilman's office, right? He goes to the city hall. He's sitting there
wildly
like, with
dramatic to sit up at the thing.
There's a lot going on, right? And he spins a web for the councilman. He's like, brother, man, I got this whole thing laid out for you. All you got to do is keep my name out of it.
Well, he's low-key bleeding from the stomach.
Right? You keep my name out of it, I'll set this whole thing for you. That's why when he doesn't, I wasn't surprised when he didn't kill Sophia because he needed a fall guy.
Yeah. I knew that he wouldn't when that scene happened. I knew that he wouldn't because he was going to give her up. I felt like that was them splitting the baby a little bit and not wanting him to be too bad. I was like, what's he gonna do here? Like, what's gonna happen here? Like, what's he gonna do here?
Right.
The situation. Here's the deal. The thing with him and his brothers, I still look at that and go, "That's a kid, right?"
Yeah.
Okay. All of the other stuff, and this happens when we're watching gangster movies, right? When we're watching gangster movies shift our morality. And when you're watching Blow, which you guys have never seen, like you want George to win.
Yeah.
There's a part of Scarface when you're watching it, you want Tony to win.
Yeah.
Like you know these characters, right? If the movie is doing its thing, you feel some sympathy for these characters. In this one, where this guy has to be on the other side of good, he has to be evil. I'm like, they're fucking with it a little bit. All the things that he does inside of his world are morally defensible. The one thing that he did this entire run that is not in any way morally defensible is killing Vic.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that he did, there's no everything
like the chalking it up to the game level of stuff. Like they asked for this, they did this.
Nah, I get what Vince said.
Everything else is it was me or them, or these are the rules of
survival.
The life that we. Everything else he did in a way is morally defensible under the constraints and in the construct, should I say, of gangsters and what gangsters do.
Sure.
And what happens with gangsters. All of that's morally defensible. This is the life that they've chosen, right? Everybody's a soldier in this.
Sure.
Like killing him for no reason except for the fact that he loves you. Like literally killing him just because he loves you. I was fucking shocked. I was watching it and I was like, wait, what is he doing?
Do you think that's also a bit of an odd admission of love from Oz to Vic?
What you
Not
mean?
to say that he has to kill him because he loves him, but like he feels something for Vic that he is actually getting dangerously close to some familial tie that could be along the lines of what he feels for his mom, and immediately retreats from it and decides to smother it instead of embrace it.
Yeah, I mean that's what he says, but the reality is he's choosing not to be a human being.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so
of course.
that's when he becomes a thing. a villain, someone who you want to lose. That scene changed the way I looked at the character completely. And there are very few scenes in television history that I can point to where I'm like, that did it for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliantly done.
Do we feel a little disappointed by how Sophia ended this journey?
Not really.
Not disappointed, but I kind of do think that they wrote themselves into a corner with her.
It's only because that somebody had to kind of come out on top from this. And yes, we kind of would go with our titular Penguin here, but I feel we found ourselves rooting for Sophia, did we not? Occasionally for this. Yeah. And like, I feel like, not to say that she deserved going off into Italy or wherever that jet was going to take her at the end, but it's odd to know that we had a sort of like second build lead here that we also found ourselves rooting for that didn't quite get the short end of this, or that didn't quite get the ending that she deserved or a catharsis that she deserved by freeing herself.
There's no deserve.
Sorry, not deserve, but like we would have wanted for her because she's been fighting against a sort of thing ever, only to wind back up in the same place.
You could argue that she did. When she says she's done with the whole thing, and she burns down the house, that's her washing her hands of all of it.
Oh yeah,
right. It's like, y'all got it. This is not the life for me. I chose wrong. I thought I wanted to be my dad. Turns out being my dad makes me like even a worse human being than I thought I could ever be. Makes me just like him.
Right.
Actually, y'all got it. I'ma leave. End of the day, she got what she wanted, which is to be done with this business. But the Penguin made the call. Right? He's the titular character. Somebody's gotta, what is it in National Treasure? Ben, somebody's gotta go to prison.
For sure. And it's
my favorite line of that.
Yeah. Somebody's gotta go to prison.
Somebody's go to prison, Ben.
Somebody's gotta go to prison. I love National Treasure.
It's a great movie.
Come on, man.
I
great
love
stuff.
National Treasure.
We used to make movies, man.
Daylight savings time is like
with the dollar bill,
the little dollar bill. Like we're I want to go to Philadelphia and explore.
You want to put on 3D glasses on the back of the Constitution?
I want to go to Philadelphia and explore during the hours of 8 to
7 p.m.
8 to 2. No, it's 8 to 2.
8 to 2. Yeah.
Because once it starts getting dusk in Philadelphia, I don't want to be there. But shout out to all my homies.
Not unless you got CR
shout
with you.
Shout out to Tone Trump. CR didn't give a fuck.
Not unless CR is in town.
Yo, look. You know, I'm in Philly. We in Philly doing the rewatchables. Like
right.
we there, and I'm in Philly. You know, I got my head on a swivel. I'm like,
CR runs that place though.
CR's like, yo, he completely different. Like, yo, man, let me show you why I grew up. Come over there the whole night. I'm looking around. It's dark. CR doesn't give a. CR is at home in his hood in Philly. We went to his old haunt, his bar, the whole nine. I literally got a text from someone. I was like, man, should I do something in Philly? I'll never forget this. The text was like, hey, bro, stay your ass in your hotel, man. He was like, the niggas in Philly are made of 2 things: testosterone and bloodlust.
Jesus.
Yo. Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, Tone Trump, all my Philly people. But
that's crazy.
But anyhow, so with her, I think that the orphaning of the child was supposed to be the thing that made us let go of Sophia. Because she became, to me, she was a sympathetic character. If there's one thing that the Penguin maybe didn't do well, was it glommed onto its leads in a way that really made you want the best for them.
You did. It did, especially for Sophia.
With her, I don't think she really actually didn't deserve a better ending.
Right.
No. But you might have wanted a better ending for her.
I did.
Because of the charisma of the character.
It did. I did. And I think that it's because she was so staunchly wanting to fight for, when she realizes too late, admittedly, that she wanted out from that life and out of the guise of like being a Gigante or being a Falcone or being like a thing that would have been an echo of her father.
Yeah.
All of those things were trying to fight the idea of all of the, like the, patriarchal mafioso shit that she despised her whole life.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
She was like, the fact that she was lying to men like that for her whole life And those same guys were the ones that put her back in the cage that she started in. It was sad. It's sad.
Doing, man? What are you doing?
Yeah. Let's talk about we got to talk about the show.
Did I bring it down?
Glorious.
Did I bring the grim
Why?
mafia show down?
Gloria Steinem over here. Like, we can just talk about the fucking... Yeah.
I don't think that's out of bounds at all.
No, I get it. This is why I feel like she should have killed Oz's girlfriend.
Why?
Oh.
So we don't get that weird ending scene?
We will talk about that.
Talk about that as well.
Cinema.
I feel like I'm watching the show when she goes to interrogate Oz's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
She was teetering on the edge.
Yeah.
Holding
She's
on
Sophia.
to her. So Sophia.
Okay.
Sophia's teetering on the edge, holding on to it. She leaves. She spares her.
Yeah.
She spares her. She gets the information that she wants, right? I thought for Sophia to make her villain turn, which I guess they don't want her to do. They want one asshole, which was Oz. For her to, for us to, me really not to care that she went back to jail or that she didn't get what she wanted, she had to kill Oz's girlfriend right there. She had to become the hangman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She never did. She didn't want to. She had to become the hangman. When the cops rolled up on Sophia, I felt bad.
But there's this interesting thing because, like,
I did.
yeah, but it's Sophia's compassion. She's like, I'm bigger than that. I'm not gonna kill the person that's not like that didn't do me wrong or is advantageous. And there's a weird thing that like Oz isn't wholly without compassion, but it's as we learn
I
throughout the
disagree.
season, beneficial to him.
I don't think that he has any compassion. I think that
It's
he's
advantageous.
I
though.
think that he's a computer.
He'll play it though.
I think he's a computer. I think he does what's in his best interest
Exactly.
at any one
Yeah.
point. And if his best interest to make somebody believe that he has compassion
Sure.
for,
He'll do
he
it.
does.
Exactly.
If he had compassion for somebody,
He wouldn't
he
have killed
wouldn't
He wouldn't have
choke a
killed
nigga out
Vic.
by the leg.
and that's ultimately what I need.
That's a hate crime.
Take the last $12 out of his wallet.
That's,
Right, yeah.
that's a hate crime. And then you rob him.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, he had a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Rob him, throw his shit. That's a hate crime. I ran that back a couple of times. Like, my God,
Yeah, it's rough.
did that just happen?
And he feigns emotion in that scene. And maybe it did mean something.
And it might
right?
have.
It might have generally been like hurtful for him to do it. But even behind all that, there's still the darkness in him that we saw in that moment where it's like, you say you love this guy. You're actively saying how much that guy means to you, and yet your hands are around his throat.
And he's like, "You're a good guy, and I can't have that."
Taking the last air from his breath, like that's nuts.
Okay, so we get some Batman stuff here. Batman-y stuff.
Get two.
A letter from Selena Kyle, your half sister.
Right.
Very nice letter.
Oh, it looked great. Calligraphy
In a little
thing,
the
black,
whole deal.
yeah.
Selena took her time.
Yeah.
All right. Letter from Selena Kyle. And then we're going to talk about the dance real quick. But before we get to the dance,
Right.
after the dance, who is going to stop you now? The back signal goes up into the sky.
Right.
Okay. We weren't going to get Batman.
Of course.
Right.
This is in the Batman
I'm
universe.
very glad that we did.
In the
ultimately.
Batman universe. I'm not.
You're not happy that we didn't have Batman invading this show.
I would have loved to have seen Batman.
Man, ain't got Batman
When?
budget. Man.
When would you have
Ain't
liked
got
to see
no
Batman
budget,
in this show?
man.
Now that the season's over, when would you have liked to seen him?
Okay. Do you remember how Gotham ended?
No.
Yes, I do remember
Where they
how
just
Gotham
show
ended.
that kind of.
They outright showed like a 12-year-old in a Batman costume.
Well, it was I don't know if he was 12, but I think they flashed forward in
Okay.
Gotham, and it showed Batman. That bitch was bootleg as hell.
It was not great.
Well,
it was
like,
actual
it was
hockey
Party-
pads.
it was Party
bad.
City
It was
Batman.
bad.
Man, shout out to Gotham because that show was good when it was good, but that shit
That did
was
not end well.
bootleg as hell. I thought that like if they would have just when I say show Batman, even the way they did there, they did the bat signal in the sky. But what if Batman would have been like on a gargoyle, like across the street? Just perched and
It could have been
over
anybody.
his
Yeah, but
shoulder.
that's-
could have been anyone. Didn't have to
Kind
be
of like
Robert Pattinson.
Anytime that Robert
kind of like
Pattinson was-
Peacemaker when they got like Superman, but it's not actually Superman. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah. It's just
yeah,
the
just
outline.
over his shoulder, and Batman could even make a little, like you think nobody can stop you?
No.
hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't
or
know.
Alfred. What if Alfred would have been in it?
Andy Serkis.
Andy
If
Serkis
Andy
showed up?
Serkis would have popped up.
Hey Andy, we getting you 15 minutes, my boy.
By the way, we
15.
didn't need it. We
course
didn't
not.
need it. It's
Yeah.
good. How do you guys feel about the Batmaniness that we did get?
I think it's just to remind us where we are. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Just remind us like Penguin thinks he's on top now. He thinks he's got it all figured out. remember, there's the big boy in the sky. He's coming back. Don't
I think
forget.
the more sequel baity thing was the letter from Selena, because that implies that there's going to be something that's like a narrative thread that needs to be pulled on.
Well, it is. His
Later
sister.
on. I know. I understand that,
It's
but
the only
like
family she's got left.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it makes me feel that like, oh, would we see that happen in Batman 2?
Maybe. I mean,
Would
it'd be kind of interesting to see Selena go into
Sure.
Arkham and then like have like kind of how in the first one where it's the Riddler and Batman having that little conversation in the interrogation or whatever. It's Selena and Kristen Milotti,
Yeah.
and they're just going back and forth. Could be interesting. Maybe that's where they're going with that.
I saw the bat signal as like a garnish. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
just a
it's
little-
it's unnecessary. It's just it's there.
Just take that. That's
Nice
for
little
ya.
touch.
That's for ya.
Zest of lemon.
So I thought when it popped up there, to Jomi's point, I was like, oh, okay. This is not a gangster story set in some Elseworlds place somewhere else. That's Colin Farrell, which I completely forgot throughout the course of
Man,
the
he
season.
was doing his thing.
Which I
man.
completely forgot.
He was
Cooking.
doing
course of
his
the season.
thing.
That's Colin Farrell. That is the Penguin. This is Batman. The Penguin never put his top hat on. He had it.
He had it.
We
Didn't
saw
put it on.
We saw
You
it.
saw it. Never put his top hat
No
on.
umbrella.
No umbrella.
No monocle.
No monocle. He looked the
Had
part.
the vest. Yep.
had
Good
the
vest. Good suit.
Whole deal.
Mhm.
He's upgraded to the Rolls Royce. All right. I believe him as the Penguin.
Yeah.
And the number one way to make me believe him as the Penguin is to let us know that Batman is out there.
Yeah.
Or killing a kid by a river for no
No.
reason.
What I mean is to believe that he's the character.
Oh, sure,
He has
sure.
to exist in a world where Batman exists.
Mhm.
Yes.
When he was smiling in that suit, I was like, did they elongate his nose a little bit more? I'm like, he's looking extra penguin-y right now.
Yeah, he's penguined out.
Bang it out.
Penguined out. Mom is in a coma.
Okay,
Man.
sure. Are we talking about that
Well,
in the scene yet or
let's
no?
talk about the beginning, right? When they're in the theater, or whatever, the dance hall,
Right.
and they find out, or Oz finds out that she knew the entire time that he killed his brothers,
Right.
and that she always hated him for it, and she always despised him his entire life. All that love, all that admiration was fake. It was all fugazi. I hate you. That was
Again,
and this is why you talk about like Oz, the compassion for Oz. I felt bad for him in that little sequence because we talked about it last week.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's all he had was
Well,
his mom.
And here's the other thing. There's this very good narrative conceit that this could be her dementia or her disease, like upgrading that anger
Mhm.
from what she had. A very good thing that the show did. I want to quick talk about in the dance hall, that flashback that we had under the guise of that red light therapy, where it's our older actor playing this while all of these younger, like young Oz is there,
Mhm.
Rex is there. You see on the stage, there's that pulsing red light and then the scene stops. And the therapist is trying to like keep her going through this story. And it's her perception of all these things about like, it may or may not have actually been what happened, but it's what she felt or what she thinks she felt at her old age and her like withering mind, that the anger of losing her kids while having to prop up this thing that she thinks is a monster, brilliantly illustrated in a crescendo that comes from just wanting to stab him and finish it, to just get out of this like mental purgatory.
And
she's
that's
in.
why I feel like the Vic strangling, it's surprising in the moment when you like really think about it. All right, bet the one person who I knew loved me,
Right.
didn't love me. Man, none of this matters.
Well, no,
None of this matters.
and
it
I
never mattered. But now that my mom don't even mess with me,
but it's even
forget all
further
this.
informed by the fact that he keeps her. He keeps her in the penthouse. He doesn't
He keeps the idea of her.
exactly.
Her husk. Let me ask you this. Did she know this whole time that she hated him? Or did they help her realize that she hated him?
Could
with
that
the
have just
red
been
light
sussed
therapy?
out of her because of that therapy
Because
session?
what I'm saying is she wanted him killed earlier on.
Sure. Yes.
It didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Rex, who had a little moral. Rex was Rex was like, hey, we can do something else, put him to work. That's kind of a whole Dexter thing. Y'all remember Dexter?
When it was good, sure.
Okay, so
surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter, surprise, motherfucker.
Peaked,
Small
it
fries,
peaked right
motherfucker.
there.
Apple pies, motherfucker.
Rue dies, motherfucker.
Do you remember?
Surprise.
So I always wondered this with Dexter, right? Because I'm just gonna say this.
Okay.
I had some family members, some younger family members. I was watching them one time, and there's 3 brothers. They're kids.
Right.
One of them was getting a spanking, as kids in the South do.
Uh-huh.
One of the brothers cried.
Oh, I think you told the story.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other brother laughed.
Mm.
And I was always like,
Gotta watch him.
Watch that one.
what's wrong with this little motherfucker right here? What's his problem? Why is he laughing at the pain of his brother?
Yeah.
Dexter
Sure.
was in his yard killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad finds him, and his dad says, rather than kill random people, you'll kill bad people. I've always wondered, if I ever happen onto a kid who's doing something like that, do I have the wherewithal to use their malicious murder skills for good?
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Because this is what Rex did. Rex said, hey, this little kid's a killer.
uh-huh.
He has no moral center, sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
Use him for good. Mom wanted him to take it out right there.
well remember-
Congratulations, Van Lathan. You're Batman.
Why is that?
Robin. Damian Wayne.
Well, I mean, but he's not gonna kill him. He's be like, hey, you can flip.
But he's like, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this angle.
I guess. I think the Rex
It's
thing.
his son.
Yeah.
Oh, don't know. Huh?
Kind of.
What kind of a dad do you think encourages those instincts?
But he's not a murderer.
A new segment. Is Steve spitting? Because I don't know if you are right now.
Do you think he's
I feel you,
The
but I'm trying to
general
feel
idea-
you even more.
Okay.
Are you spitting right now? You might be spitting.
He's leaning into his son's anger-driven instincts to make him something that he wants.
So
For
then you think that Bruce Wayne / Batman actually likes the fact, doesn't like the fact. He realizes
Can use the fact
that Damian is a murder machine
Mhm.
and he's activated him. He doesn't want, it's like
he just points it in a direction that he likes.
this is a Dexter situation. Huh.
Or a Rex situation. Or
Well, Rex is not. Well,
or
Rex is not his dad.
a Francis
but
situation.
even Rex was like, these guys, they need a father,
Yeah.
and Rex was like, he don't need that kid. Don't want a father. He need a mother. Hey, and that's you. So we might have to do the other.
Yeah.
thing.
What do you want? And what do you want from him?
Yeah.
How do you want to point him?
Exactly.
So then what do we feel like Ma's life was then? Was her life looking, why did she do it? She goes from wanting to kill her son, who either accidentally or on purpose killed his brothers, or do we know?
I think on purpose. Remember, she
Well,
finds the flashlight. And she's like, she knew where he was.
Right.
The whole
And
time.
and the
I
thing
need
is,
everybody in the room on this. Did he? Not to cut you off, Steve.
no,
What are you
you're
saying?
good. Well, it was just illustrated by the fact that the reason that she stayed her hand and told Rex to back off is because the fact that he still saw that it was her little boy. And the fact that she wanted to see if she can steer that in the right direction. And she keeps trying and trying and trying.
Did Oz's mom? Hold on, forget about that. Did Oz kill his little brothers on purpose?
It's,
Yeah.
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 Yes. Yes, he did.
I'm still not certain that he
Because-
did. I know. I'm. By the way, I'm not holding on, so I'm not wrong
Sure.
about this.
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
this last episode.
Mhm.
It's still unclear to me whether or not he knew that he was killing them when he turned the thing.
It's the fact that he had every opportunity to own up to it or confess or stop it, but he just looks out in the rain.
Yeah.
Stopping it is one thing, but did he know that they would die from being in the sewer?
Yeah.
Where y'all at? The
I would say
collective.
he at least doesn't care. And so they give like the background of earlier in that episode where we get that flashback of how he's enviously watching his brothers get love from his mom.
Right.
To the
Yeah.
point where it's like clearly something is so detached that he could go as far as just locking them in there.
And a good point to be made.
I
It's
think-
not that they were assholes to him.
Yeah.
They weren't.
But
I think
they were though. So look, he did. The only reason why I'm saying this is because he did it on impulse.
Yes.
Mhm.
It wasn't his idea to go down there.
Mhm.
It wasn't his idea to do any of that stuff. They went down there, and he was like, I can't come down there.
And they're like, we're sorry. I'm like, we were just trying to.
I know. He locked the door out of spite, which is something that a kid would do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but at the same time, and you talked about it last week, he shoots oh boy in the first episode, just off rip. It's not about guilt. It's not about shame. It's
Yeah.
more like you wronged me. whatever
Another impulse kill.
whatever happens to you happens to you.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be all right at the end of the day.
Right.
That's what it comes down to for
Aleya, did you watch it?
No, sorry.
You don't give a fuck. Arjuna, your thoughts?
On the if he killed his brothers or not?
If he killed his brothers
I
on
think he
purpose.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the show reads that way for sure.
Yeah. So in that sense, then that makes his relationship with mom even more interesting because she knows that he killed her 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
She's talked into him having some sort of utility.
Yeah.
By Rex.
Yeah.
They have a relationship for decades after that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of why?
Because she thinks that she wants to try to steer that into something good. As much as that can be twisted
into
into
being a driver for
into getting the penthouse, right? Getting the
so she was that's the thing. It's
giving me the nice things.
Give her the nice things.
Because again, like it's not like she's living in a neighborhood where she's like she's doing books for people like Rex.
Right.
Yeah. She's doing all that stuff.
So,
like
the only reason why I bring this up is because I think this is one of the most interesting threads in the show. And also because he didn't have her really living that nice.
No.
You would have thought that their relationship was based upon something more substantial than the lifestyle he could provide to her, because the lifestyle he was providing to her didn't seem to be that enviable to me.
No. It wasn't. But then we flash forward to him and Sophia and her, and he's willing to damn near let her pinky get chopped off, because he's not going to admit the truth to his mom.
Yeah, he can't do that, right?
He can't.
But then he finds out that she knew all the time and she hated his guts. And it's starting to, like, she collapses that he finally is like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's figure this thing out. She stabs him, dog.
Yeah.
She stabs him. Not Sophia, not Dr. Julian Rush, for all the people. We know his name is not just Shades. All right?
Right.
It's him.
But he's Shades.
It's the mom that stabs him, and that's
By the
tough.
way, Shades took his old job back at Arkham.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
How did he get that job back?
Like, how did he get his job back?
I'm guessing things aren't really
above
above board over at Arkham.
gotta be
It's
the
almost
worst.
like that's
Arkham's the
case.
worst prison in the history of prisons.
It's not just
bro.
a bad prison; it's a bad institution.
Oh my
They
goodness!
have bad.
Again,
you have somebody that
page 1 rewrite about all the institutions.
Guy leaves to go join criminal organization.
Mm-hmm.
Wants his job back. He's obviously obsessed with this prisoner. He obviously has some kind of obsession with the prisoner. Clearly has an obsession with the prisoner. Dr. Julian Rush let him back in right there. He wants to be with Sophia.
Oh, you were on a sabbatical? What were you doing? Don't worry about it.
What's happening at Arkham, man? If I was put in charge of Gotham, these are the first 3 things I would clean up.
All right, what's your platform?
All right, number 1, I'm mayor of Gotham.
Mayor.
These
oh
are
boy.
These are the first things.
Mayor Van Lathan.
Mayor Van Lathan of Gotham.
Yes.
First of all, I'm never coming to my office.
Sure.
Why
good move.
Why would you?
By the way, who's your district attorney? Real quick.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure who I put in charge. That's very important.
Yeah.
I'm never coming into the office. I am
work remote.
My
from
office.
Remote from Metropolis.
It's like
Zoom
an
in.
underground safe somewhere where whatever. It's all on Zoom. I'm never coming into the office.
Okay,
I'm not about
great.
to fuck over me. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1, I have to address infrastructure.
Of course.
Yes.
In our city here in Gotham, things are consistently getting blown up by different people. We have
clowns,
clowns,
the face
we
Riddlers.
have penguins, we have two-faced people. We have to make sure that we reinforce our infrastructure.
Of course.
And get the city of Gotham, our bridges, our roads,
Our schools.
our schools.
Hospitals, yes.
Make these first
Thank you
rate.
so much. Half the city is underwater, Mr.
Right.
Mayor.
Well, it was underwater under the old regime.
Right, yes.
And not only was it underwater literally, I would say it was
Oh.
underwater figuratively.
Oh,
When I look out into the
financially?
streets of Gotham,
Wow.
I see a lot of people who are underwater.
Right.
I see a lot
I
of
just need to
people
look at the camera
who are
and
doing their best to swim, to just keep their heads above water. And if you vote for me, Van Lathan, for mayor of Gotham, I'll make sure that you not just swim, that you'll have a boat. And if you have a boat, then you'll have a yacht. And if you have a yacht, then you'll have a cruise ship.
Venice, baby.
And that not just you will be able to get on your cruise ship, everyone in your entire yacht, your entire neighborhood will be able to float to a better future in Gotham with me as your mayor. Vote for change, vote for me, vote for someone that can take out these supervillains. Infrastructure, and we have to reform the mental health situation in Gotham.
schools probably too.
You would have put that first?
What?
The institutions, you got to put that first.
It's a really tough
I'll tell you
place to
why.
start.
I double dip
Okay.
Because the infrastructure money is going to help me actually divert some money to Arkham.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But we got to have a full staff.
All right, now
change
what-
on
I mean, you gotta. I mean,
we need to fully clean house at Arkham.
All right, Van Lathan.
And then we're going to enact mental health. I want to identify the jokers early. I'm going to start satellite mental health buildings
hold on.
in every different borough of Arkham. And if I see a motherfucker even playing with some motherfucking makeup, you're out. This is the last thing I'm going to run on.
Right.
okay.
This is the way we deal with the Batman.
And we don't see it.
We don't see
We
it.
don't see it.
Don't see it. See it.
All right.
I
Okay.
pretend I do not see.
And then there's one last thing as mayor, we can end this bit.
Right.
The moment the shit gets too hot, I just want to let you guys know I'm out.
The mayor quits.
Like
I'm resigning.
The
block get too hot, it's over.
I just want
So-
when some villain comes on TV and
Let's-
goes,
All right, so let's ballpark
it's time
it.
for 12 terror days in Gotham. I'm gonna blow up a different.
The mayor of
fucking
Gotham is about to
Whole
resign.
Foods every day. Like, hey, it's me, Mayor Lathan.
Gonna be Magic Johnson. Right. I'm not gonna be
I
here.
will not be there.
I want
I'm
y'all
not
to
gonna be
know
here.
I've done a lot. I feel like we've gone a lot of places.
It's been
together.
30 days, Mr. Mayor.
It's been 6 weeks. Here's the deal. I like Whole Foods, and there are a lot of cities where this kind of stuff isn't happening. So I'm done. I tried to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Batman's got you. Elect him mayor. Elect the mayor. I'm out. Thank you very much, Gotham. Love you guys.
Y'all got
appreciate
it.
you.
Y'all
Thank
got
you.
it.
Y'all got it.
Y'all
Mr.
look
Mayor.
crazy. Y'all. That's
Appreciate
hey, that's nuts, man.
So speaking of this, elongated, terrible, long tangent bit, but we like
We had
it.
fun.
Speaking of this, our Gotham City. We've
Yes.
talked about our Gotham City. Now we know it. Now we know our Gotham. We know it. We know it. It's over. It's done. What did the show Penguin tell you about this iteration of Gotham? We get a way better sense of the city. We've talked about this before on the show, from this show than we did from the movie. What impressions do you have of this Gotham and the way things work? I've seen a lot of little people lose, and that really, really gets to me.
I think it's dirty, grimy, just completely out of order. And frankly, with the absence of Batman, I think Gotham is worse than like it seems on the surface, right? Because in all the Batman stories, there's something happening in Gotham. Batman's there to save you. Batman's gonna save you from the drug dealer. Batman's gonna save you from the stick up. They don't have this. People die all the time, B. In this Gotham.
Kids die all the time.
People get blown up. So a Bliss thing is blown up. Kids get shot. Like the entire thing happens. There's no Batman coming to save you. You know, it's grim. It is depressing. And frankly, it's just completely like, it's a complete understanding of, oh no, like there is like, sometimes there's a back signal.
What will Batman mean to this city? Because it doesn't seem like
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. When you know that guy's coming to save you, or that like, oh, my kids can't be out on the street because the ground might open up one day because of an explosion. You know what I mean? We see the Gotham without Batman. This is the worst we've ever seen it. Clearly, like it's never been this bad, unless Bane was blowing up bridges and sending all the cops underground, or whatever.
For sure.
But aside from that, like on a regular basis, this is as bad as I've ever seen a Gotham on TV.
Yeah,
or
it's
film.
it's dirtier. It's like it's more mean spirited. There's a moment. I think there's a great shot actually. Like after as the title card drops, you see it's like a POV from like the cameras on top of
The car, yeah.
the gangster's car, and he's like making a left and then he's making a right, and then you see the like pillar of smoke next to like what looks like to be like the beginnings of downtown.
Yeah.
And a sense of place is hard to get
Mhm.
unless you see a shot like that. And with shots like that, I see I'm like, oh man, this fucking city is so tangible and so downtrodden. And after everything that we've seen and every person that we've like been like, again, it makes it so that I believe when Oz says something like, everybody's been trod upon, all you want to do is fill your stomachs and fill your pockets. You grew up with everything. You never appreciate people that live with nothing. Anybody would want to suppress that. At that point, I don't need to know what he said to those gangsters in the back of that Escalade to get him on his side by the time they come and kill Sophia's men. That's how desperate Gotham is.
Vic did that.
Vic
Yeah.
and Link. Shout out Link. You mentioned
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
So,
the
and
episode.
that's
Link
another-
looking out for Vic, by
Well,
the way.
because that's another thing. Vic literally saved Oz's life.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean he's done it multiple times, but I think this one was
this is the most, for sure.
great in particular because that first part of the episode after the title drops, Vic's like, "Yo, y'all not gonna help," and then he gets hit by Link. Link's like, "Hey, pal,
Chill.
chill out, man. You gonna get yourself hurt." Because the guy was ready to pop him.
Yeah.
It's like, chill out. Then he gets the call from Link, and they formulate the plan.
Because you thought
get
for
Vic-
sure
to
that Vic
get-
was going
to
to
get
betray
him
him.
I thought Link was setting him the fuck up.
Yeah.
I thought Link was setting him up right there. I did not believe. I thought that they were telegraphing a double cross.
Yeah, exactly.
As if I thought that it was basically played that way to make us believe that Link was going to double cross him, and then that he would double cross Link.
Sure.
That he would have the upper hand. But the moment Oz grinned at her, I'm like, oh shit, it's up.
So,
But
when they shot old boy, like the triad leader, I was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
It's all go down. You mentioned earlier the Godfather,
Mhm.
little like popping everybody. That's cinema, man. They got him.
how y'all think Link gonna feel when he realizes Vic is dead?
Probably not too bad. He's
that's
he's
more
got the
for
whole Falcone empire.
He's
like,
the triad leader.
yeah, cost of a kid. So
Oh
what?
no, not Vic. No.
What did Vic mean to our show?
He was the heart, right? He was the emotional center, right? We see him lose his entire family, like
Yeah.
everybody, in one of those episodes, early episodes, and we know that Sophia, we know that Sophia is terrible. Penguin Oz is out of his way to know that he is a terrible human being, but Vic was supposed to be the person, that we didn't want to, like, we're watching him get corrupted, but we still wanted to see him get saved, right? Hopefully there's a way out of this life somehow. We know it's tough with everything going on in Gotham. You got to find a way to survive. But at the end of the day, we want to see him living his best life outside of this bubble. And he never got out of it.
Yeah, and it's like Oz said it himself. You're a good guy, and it's not built for good guys.
It's funny. He's a good guy, but he's become a criminal.
Yeah,
Right? It's
But-
kind of the thing the show has to kill. We talked about once
Mhm.
again, the show has to kill that idea of someone who has maintained a likability or a moral center in this deal. You can't be Vic and go on and be a Batman villain. I'll ask you this. The character itself, was it an actual character or was it a means of emotionally manipulating us? So think about it. You have a youthful looking kid with a stutter that finds his power over the course of this entire show.
Yeah.
Did Vic only exist in this show to be killed by Oz?
No.
Was there anything else that we learned from the character?
Yeah.
Was that character strictly and solely there to be sacrificed so that Oz can become the Penguin?
I don't think so. I think it speaks to what, like I said earlier, like how down bad trodden Gotham is, right? That he has to come to Oz and he has to do all this illegal activity just to wake up tomorrow, just have something to live for anymore.
Like I think I'm gonna, like, again, a generous comp, but I think about what if Jesse Pinkman never got out of that hole, if Walt never saved him, and if Jesse's sacrifice was only just to let, like, if Walter wasn't too proud, would he have still let Jesse live? Would that not have been his demise? We're happy that Jesse Pinkman got out because he ultimately got his sunset and his happy ending.
Yeah,
But if
Jesse becomes, at the end of the day, Jesse becomes the saving grace of Breaking
Exactly.
Bad. It's completely different.
Exactly. He's a moral center. He's a heart that got out of that. I see Vic as somebody that's kind of like Pinkman, dipping back into something that he's not ready for, that he never was ready for, and he can't maintain that with somebody like Oz. Oz is the blackest of that heart and can't ever get out of those scenarios. Like he will forever be ensnared with that.
Yeah.
I liken him to Jesse because he was fortunate enough to get out, but like he was this close to just being like Vic.
I'll tell you this. The writers did fuck us with Vic.
You think so?
They had to. There had to be one.
For sure.
Vic, the writers, Vic is an Illuminati blood sacrifice.
Right.
He is. Like every single thing, every single moment that we see Vic having a panic attack. We see Vic going through love. We see Vic doing things that it's not in him to do, killing people. We see Vic rising to the occasion with the cops. Everything that we see Vic do over the course of this show is simply for us to feel when he is killed. It is no different than Teefs and
Floor.
Christ.
Floor.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
And it's no different
I
than
don't.
them. Teefs and Floor, they sitting down and they land on the
You're my
ground.
bestest friends.
I'll never
You were so mad.
watch it
You were so
again.
mad.
When I tell you, I'll never look
I
at it
believe
again.
you. I believe
I'll never watch the movie again.
I
So shout out to everybody that can watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 multiple times. I'll never look at it again.
you. Sure.
So those characters that they're there to make Rocket whole, but essentially only exist to, we see this all the time, right?
Yeah.
Only exist for Rocket to be the dog in Vic is the dog in John Wick.
I mean,
Well,
I see
I
the
mean, he
vision.
is. He's like
maybe,
sure.
But I mean, it doesn't serve that purpose though, because like we don't. When the dog in John Wick dies, we're like, "Yo, John, get active."
Yeah.
Like it's time to return.
Not when you first saw it. When you first saw it, you didn't know what the fuck people were talking about.
Fair.
The dog actually, when you first saw it, the dog turned him into John Wick.
Right.
So you're saying,
So it's like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they scared of this guy. And then he jumped over the railing and started fucking people up. I was like, oh, right. So you knew that he was a badass motherfucker, but the dog activated him. The dog made him John Wick, and Vic is essentially that to me.
in a roundabout way, because normally those things like they die by somebody else's hand, and the protagonist then has to go kill them to exact their revenge. But in this sense, it's Oz killing Vic so that the Penguin,
so that Oz can finally fly the coop, which we've already discussed. Not to retread it, but I'm just saying, does that mean that Vic's character in the show? So to your point, I think it's an interesting take that his character exists to show just how easily the everyman in Gotham can be corrupted.
Yeah.
And then how they get it. How do you read the character?
I read it similar to that. I think it's more so the dichotomy of like just how different Oz is from everyone around him. Vic is the good-hearted gangster, if we could call it that. Sophia is a person in seeking redemption. In some way, personal.
Yeah, she's desperate.
She's desperate for redemption. And, roundabout way of trying to find it and ultimately gets it too late. But Oz is something completely different. It's without that remorse. And yes, we feel it. And we feel it because we try to empathize with everything that Oz could be up until this point.
Yeah.
We can understand everything that he is up until this point.
I think the Vic thing, and I understand where you're coming from, but to me, I don't know if it's a better comp, but the more interesting comp is kind of like when you're a team on the cusp. You get a bunch of young players, right? And you got to make that trade. And you've been like having so much fun with these young kids, like the Lakers, when like Lonzo and Brandon and Ingram and Josh Hart having a great time. All these young kids, you got to go get AD, right? And so you got to send those young guys. You love them. They gotta go.
Yeah,
And even though it's tough. You're not killing him. It's tough to see him in another uniform.
God damn.
It's tough to see him.
You say Vic is Lonzo Ball?
Kinda.
God damn.
Wow.
Kinda.
That's tough. Bulls season 2024.
Vic is Lonzo Ball?
I mean, how long did it take him to get the shooting right? You know what I mean?
Lonzo is a good player. Y'all hate on Lonzo.
I love Lonzo. Don't do that. I love Lonzo. I love Brandon Ingram. I love Josh Hart. But you want to win championships. You got to go get AD.
Yeah.
See you, brother.
They all light-skinned, too. Not Ingram, but the other two.
I see it.
Three of them kind of, if you put those three guys together, they do kind of make you look like a little Vickish.
Little Vickish.
Look, I'm going to ask this question You know,
Okay.
it's not a question I want to ask.
But you got to do it.
Okay.
I also want to fuck his mom.
Clearly.
It's a perverted thing.
I'm asking, like,
no.
you had a Kerm?
Absolutely. I think from the
Oh, okay.
So we get the
I thought we were against the exercise. I thought we were against the
I'm not
question.
against
Clearly.
the exercise. You really got to think about it. I think Kerm is
so
making
the,
a good point.
the flashback scene we see where she's like, "Oh, we're going out tonight," and she's in like the shiny dress. He eyeballs her, like checks her up and down. If you watch that scene back, then the fact that your hooker girlfriend, you want her to dress exactly like your mom,
That's the
in
one.
that same fucking dress, and give you all the affirmations that your mom never
Yeah.
could. Like, it's getting weird.
That's the
it's
one
getting
where-
real goony. That's all I'm saying.
That's the one where it lost me because there's a lot going on. You mentioned the dress and the entire thing in the flashback, and you can at best chalk it up to like, hey, his mom had a good time. He might die tomorrow. You know what I mean? He loved his mom. Who doesn't love their mom like crazy? You know what I'm saying? And then you have the dance at the end with this old girl. She's cosplaying as his
She's
mom.
acting like his mom. She's got her
And
hair
it's
like,
like-
the mom. She's talking like
honestly,
the mom. She's
now
wearing
the
dress
funniest
of the
line
mom.
of
Now it's time to go at that point.
the
brother.
funniest line of the season now is when Sophia's talking to her and he's like, he's not that complicated.
I mean, it's not
what?
complicated. It's just gross
No,
and
it's
nasty and
very
weird.
complicated.
And by the way, I look at Oz in a certain way, but I also look at her in a certain way too, man. Come on, man.
Bag is a bag.
Bag's a bag.
Bag is a bag.
Bag's a bag. She don't live in that nice penthouse.
No.
does she got bills to pay.
And frankly, run down penthouse.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, the penthouse is a penthouse. So all
Bag is a bag.
bag's a bag.
Bag's a bag.
In Gotham?
How far does this go with you guys?
In Gotham, pretty far.
No. I'm asking you.
Nah, I mean, what I got to do?
Hey,
Bag is a bag is a bag
Wow.
is a bag.
Wow.
We gotta stop the pod because what we talking
Wow.
about?
Like, wow.
A bag
Wow.
is a bag is a
What do you
bag.
gotta do?
Wow.
This is getting weird.
What you got to do?
What do I have to do?
What you got to do?
What do I have to do?
Run a mill.
Take
Lock
that.
it-
Take that.
Shaquille O'Neal.
What do
Damn. You ever see that clip? Nah, you ever see that clip.
You haven't seen it. That's
okay.
funny.
Sorry, we gotta show it to you. You're going to laugh.
Bag's a bag.
Bag's a bag. Bag's a bag.
Let me ask you this. What wouldn't you do?
Show hole of the
So you guys say a bag's a bag. So right now, if someone offered you, let's say 10 million
10 million. I'm
to show Hole on the Midnight Boys, 10 million.
We would get demonetized.
I wouldn't be though.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
I'm
Wait a
monetized.
second, wait a
I'm
second,
telling
wait
you
a second.
something right
I
now.
do it for 5. I don't know what you're talking about. 10 million?
10 mil?
I
Look at
Hole.
5.
Okay.
I am monetized.
You'd show Hole
For 5 million?
for 5 million.
I don't give a fuck.
you
5 million.
Okay, you
I
should-
do. I
million?
for sure do
Bag's
it
a
for
bag.
10. I for
Bag's
sure
a
do
bag
it.
is a bag.
Okay, cool.
Bag's a bag.
Would you show Hole with a bright, blinking butt plug in? 5 million.
5 million? Nah, that's not enough. That's
Okay, well, how much does it cost?
5 million. I mean, so the show whole originally was 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Throw
it's
another
10.
5 on that.
What colors?
15.
What colors are the?
Whatever colors.
It's like
pink, blue,
it's like Rainbow
whatever.
Road. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about this show real quick, Penguin as a whole, before we
Mhm.
get to the Midnight Meter.
Right.
Cool.
Gas or ass?
I mean,
More gas, definitely more gas than ass.
Total gas.
doesn't gas come from ass?
It's true. Gas does come from ass, or gas comes from your stove.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
true.
I turned on my stove and it was nothing but the penguin.
Hey,
Uh,
it's plucky.
yeah, no, it was gas.
It was gas.
Gas.
It's gas.
What do you think the show overall does? Forget about what I talked about as deepening the universe. What do you think the show does for the Matt Reeves Batman universe? Does this show mean that you want more of this stuff? You want to see more of this? There's something happening right now at DC
Mhm.
where James Gunn is obviously getting his movies ready to bring them to theaters.
Yeah.
Now, that is something that everyone's going to have a tremendous amount of anticipation for.
Mhm.
Tremendous amount of anticipation for James Gunn's DC universe. Okay. I'm sure that the people at Warner Brothers love to have a hit. They love to have a thriving universe, but I doubt, in terms of the Elseworlds Matt Reeves universe, I doubt if James Gunn is thrilled with sharing cultural space with another Batman.
I'm almost certain that he doesn't want that.
Don't shows like this just increase the competition? They show that there's so much meat on the bone for this universe and this world. Doesn't it make it hard for you to turn away from not just wanting Batman 2, but maybe wanting Batman 3 or another Batman show or another? Don't you want more? Don't you want to know a little bit more about Catwoman? Wouldn't a Catwoman show be sexy and amazing and daring and fantastic? Doesn't this type of creative success not only up the ante for what James Gunn is doing, but also put a little pressure on him?
Yes and no. I think because you could make the argument that, oh, this was great because it was on TV and we should make more TV Batman shows, not the movies. Let's just stick to Penguin and Catwoman and Gotham Central. All
Still
that
a different
stuff.
universe, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on TV. It's not you're not going to theaters to watch.
Yeah,
James
but
Gunn's Batman.
Gunn will want to dip into TV. He's got Peacemaker. He's got all of his things. He'll have
Started
that.
on TV with
Exactly.
Peacemaker.
And I think
Or the Suicide Squad, which I guess
Well, no, it was. It was pandemic times. It was
yeah,
just at the
true,
crib.
true. So that would have been in theaters. To your point.
I don't think Gunn wants to give that much real estate, if any, to Matt Reeves. I think that he is respectfully letting this Batman 2 happen, and then we will probably not see much more again.
Man,
because
that's real haterade, though.
I know, but it seems to be I only slightly understand, only because they want the sort of, I think, like, brand recognition and playbook of, we're going to do this one thing. Anytime you see a DC product in the theaters or on your television screen, it's going to be in this world, in this universe, with this palette.
Yeah.
And this is kind of muddying the waters a bit, which, to be fair, in the Snyderverse, we had this problem almost all of the time. Everything was a soft reboot. Everything was a different this. Everything was never connected to that.
Yeah.
Now that James Gunn's got the wheel, he's like, all right, well, we got the one Batman thing that everybody really, really likes. And that's a real good, like thing to hit your wagon to, at least for a while we get something out the door for the rest of the stuff. So I'm guessing that this will probably be the last, if not one of the last, Matt Reeves things that we see.
Man, I don't know. I mean, because if Batman 2 comes out in 2026 and it's that gas,
it likely would be.
So then I would be like, yeah, we're not making those anymore.
Well,
Sorry.
it all, of course, you guys know how I feel about this. I don't think they're going to want to.
Yeah.
Meaning, I think Gunn at some point is going to drop his nuts. Look, he wants to do the Brave and the Bold. He wants it to be one Batman. It doesn't work well with a Batman on the big screen and a Batman on television. To your point, maybe two Batman movies. It's probably it's a lot for the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, when is the Brave and the Bold supposed to come out? That's like 2027.
Yeah.
So who knows how much stuff Matt Reeves can get done by then? Probably not much. It's 2025 in a couple of months, right? And the Batman is until 2026 , right?
Yeah, 2026. This is early 2027, late 2026 for Brave and the Bold.
Okay, so you're gonna have two movies coming out if that production schedule holds pretty close to one another.
Yeah, and by that point, if you're making more things in the Batman universe with the Matt Reeves side, that's just gonna go on for way too long.
If the second Batman movie comes out and it makes $1 billion, it's always hard to turn money down.
Sure.
But you would see strife and angst between filmmakers and parts of it that would be very difficult to contain and not get out there.
Absolutely.
In the press
And it could
all
be
that
tough
stuff.
because, like, what if Batman 2 does good and then, like, Batman 3, I want to include this character and, what's his name? James Gunn's like, actually, I want him for this thing. You know what I mean? Who takes priority? James Gunn probably is the guy with the headset on. He makes a call.
No, of
right?
course.
So it becomes
And he
a little
nixed
difficult.
a bunch of projects when he first got the keys.
Well, I mean, they were just handing out projects that they were.
I know,
at that
which
point.
you
what I
needed
mean?
you needed to cut some weeds.
All right.
I get it.
It's time for it. The Midnight Meter.
Yeah.
All right. You guys know how it goes. 1 to 10. However, something can be rated an 11 or 12 if it is, in fact, a game changer. I'm going to start. I'm going to give it a 10.
It's pretty great.
10's good.
I'm
10's
gonna,
good.
I'm going to give it a 10. I'm not going to go game changer. Not yet, but I am going to go a very, very flawless season of television. I'm going to give it a 10. I can't go 11 or 12.
Sure.
All right, but I'm going to give it a 10. So you guys can go whenever you like.
I would give this a 9.
Okay.
I think it's near flawless. I think there were maybe a couple of things that just weren't as strong as the show at its heights. And to keep that level of quality is incredibly high, but this was wonderful to watch. This is killer. It's great.
10 out of 10.
Great.
I think this is a perfect 10.
Preventing it from being a game changer then. What does it? Is it time? Is it
Episodes,
panache?
You know, I mean, maybe it's time. You know, I think 8 episodes of like perfectly curated TV, I think I've seen shows with, you know, more stuff going on. Like this show was very linear, very like
Sure.
one thing happening. It's easy to get those things right versus, you know, show with like 13 episodes and a whole bunch of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like the difficulty rate, I think on this show, like I guess you can argue like, oh, it's for the Penguin. Who cares really? But I think
That's my thing.
Universe,
It's as good as a show about the Penguin could be.
And that's my main question, because like those who weren't aware, like we gave Andor the likes of that, like we gave that a 12, like immediately after that season finale.
It's just different.
And it's just different. And it's like it's those
Keep
little
coming back
things
to
that keep
Andor.
it from
it's
keeping
not
it
the
at
same.
12.
Yeah, it's like but the
Still
scope-
amazing.
I know the scope of Andor, the depth of Andor. You know what? I'm gonna put
we got to put a
moratorium
moratorium
on mentioning Andor.
I understand.
Because we on Andor's and these nuts.
Mhm.
We
And
on
dick.
Andor's balls, man. We gotta stop being on Andor's balls.
Are we gonna award the
Hold on.
entire
'Cause
podcast?
we are so on Andor's nuts. Everybody on Andor's dick wagon.
Guess
Hold
what?
on,
You gotta
though.
get off the fucking shit. Get off the dick.
Hold on, because Arjuna don't want to send us to Star Wars Celebration in Japan
Oh,
in
damn it.
2025.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Star
That's
Wars.
not. That's
Arjuna.
not.
Star Wars. If you're listening, look, we'll keep mentioning it. You send us to Japan.
No,
2025.
nigga, only you're for sale.
Yeah. Right now, we just earned the Krispy Kreme Podcast Award for
what,
Glaze on Andor.
Graze on.
Glaze on
Look at
Andor.
that.
That's a
Krispy
wow.
Kreme award.
Look at us.
Listen,
For Andor.
We just won the Krispy Kreme award. It's the second one.
Second
we just
one.
won the Krispy Kreme award for Andor. All we do is glaze Andor.
Right.
We got a rule. Nerd culture, starting here with the Midnight Boys, we're going to be the change we want to see.
No more
Stop
glazing.
glazing Andor.
Well, let's be very clear. We love it. It's great.
We
it's
love it.
fantastic.
It's great, but
Yeah,
stop
we can't
glazing
keep,
Andor.
We can't keep comparing everything. We can't
Yeah, it's not all gonna be
measuring stick. Yeah.
Andor. Okay? Stop glazing it. We're not going to glaze it no more. I want to get from the two that watched it. SOB stood on business once again and didn't watch the show. I want some midnight meter ratings from you guys.
I think I'll also go 10. Like, I was kind of tempted to try and make a lane for an 11 with the idea of like this is kind of somehow an in-between of like, I don't know, like Snowfall meets, I don't know, like Smallville, something like that, where it's like it pushes, to me at least, like what a superhero show based, you know, a superhero show can be, because it's so heavily Sopranos-y, but I don't think it's worth the argument, so I'll stick with the 10.
Nice.
Fair.
I haven't had a chance to watch the finale yet, so
That's grim.
You didn't have the screener.
The Watcher did not watch.
The Watcher did not watch.
I'll see
You know
myself
what that
out
means?
now.
So
I'll see
I make a
myself
deal
out now.
with you.
Arjuna, don't fire me. I'll see myself out now.
You didn't watch the finale. That's cool, but that means we got to go to Celebration. Like, we're going to Celebration. Shout out to everybody. Hey, we're going to see Ringerverse, Star Wars
Japan.
Celebration,
Konnichiwa.
Tokyo.
Konnichiwa is crazy, bro.
I've been, first
That
of all,
is
how's that crazy?
insane,
I've been
bro.
taking Japanese on Duolingo.
Oh my
It's in Japan.
gosh. Nah, it's
I
not the
don't-
time.
I don't like it.
Not
You
the
don't
time.
like
This is great.
Not the
Thank you for taking the
time.
heat off me, Colonel.
Not the
Wow.
time.
Like
Steve,
Not the
that's
time.
not, it's not comparable. I can,
Not the
that's,
time,
there's worse
man.
things to say, but
Not
my
the
bad, guys.
time.
All right, well, I edit this, so they might not even hear this shit. They might not even hear this shit.
You know what, though? I just changed. I'm on curbside now.
All I said was, hey.
Hey, that's
All
high.
I said was, hey.
Wait a
Y'all
minute.
motherfuckers
You
acting
can't do that.
crazy.
That's high in Japan. That's cool.
Oh,
Remember
my
we were
God.
in we were in a meeting. So we were in a meeting and we have somebody that we work with here, and they mentioned that their mom was part Mexican. And Jomi goes, "Hola, mi amigo."
That's not what. That was you.
Don't
Don't ever die.
So they say they mentioned
that was
you remember
him.
this? And,
That was him.
And Jomi kind of like said it under his breath. Jomi goes,
That's not at
Oh,
all.
oh,
Don't
that'd be
lie
illegal.
on me. Don't
That's
lie on me.
that's
People are
crazy.
listening. People believe that.
That's
People,
true.
when you say it, people believe it.
You've
That was you.
you've played yourself a lot.
And I looked at you crazy.
Yeah. You guys, that is it. It's a wrap. On Tuesday, the House of R will be giving you their deep dive into the Penguin finale. Oh, we got to guess what Charles would have given it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got to guess.
The
I think
strongest 6
It's a
that's
5.
ever been given.
It's a 5. It's a 5.
I think he'd go as high as a 7.
Charles-
Genuinely, I think he'd go as high as a 7.
No, he wouldn't go to us.
Nah, and the 7's ridiculous.
Charles has never fucked with the Penguin. Chuck's gonna be back next week, by the way. Like Charles has never fucked with the Penguin. He hasn't fucked with the Penguin. Literally, there was nothing that the Penguin could have done.
And now that he killed Vic, no, it's done.
Yeah, I
They
wonder
killing
what-
our black kings.
I
How
know-
could they?
I could, yeah.
That would
yeah.
have been 30 minutes.
Chuck, we miss you.
Yeah, man. Come back.
Hope you're having a good vacation, my brother. That's a wrap. On Tuesday, the House of R will be giving you their deep dive into the Penguin finale. Don't want to miss that. November is upon us. Mid Edition will be covering you guys have shows every weekend?
Every Saturday.
weekend.
This month. It's Arcane and then the other show.
The Legend of.
The Legend of
It's a surprise.
Oh,
But
it's a
they know what I'm
surprise.
talking about.
The Legend.
Probably do.
They know what I'm talking
The
about.
Legend of okay, cool. Producers are Steve the Architect Ahlman, Jonathan Kermah, Jonathan Konnichiwa Kermah, and Aleya SOB Zenieris, Jomi Adeniran on socials, #Jomi's Amigos, and additional production by Arjuna, the non-watcher. Ramgopal. Jomi, for the last time in a little while, take us out.
Yeah.
Man. Vic is super dead.
Nice.
It's really sad to see. Disney, if you're listening, please make National Treasure 3.
Did you like my Die Hard pitch?
I thought it was great. I just think that it's really crazy how are you too extreme for terrorism? You know what I mean?
It's because Hans Gruber wanted the money and they just wanted social change. And he's like, no, I just want money.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's my have you heard the pitch for my Hans Gruber origin movie?
Give it.
It's basically him in that German terrorist organization, but he turns it into a money heist as opposed to like a hostage situation for political change. And so like he fucks over his terrorist buddies and walks away with a bunch of money and starts his own
They were
Band of
terrorists,
Thieves.
but then he became.
because they kicked him out of that terrorist organization.
They kicked him out.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He just wanted money.
Yeah. And then he goes away and it's Hans Gruber time. I like that.
Mhm.
I'll go see it.
Mm-hmm. He's got a little brother at the crib, and it's like, yo, you can't come with me. I got to do my own thing.
Yeah. His Jeremy Irons little brother.
Oh, the little brother, because he comes back in
Die
In
Hard
two.
3. Die Hard
in
3.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with the Vengeance.
Mhm.
It's Die Hard 2. I don't know if there's a suffix for that one. Then it's Die Hard with a Vengeance. Then it's Live Free and Die Hard.
Yeah.
There's also a fifth one, but who cares? So
Die
Die
Hard.
Hard 2 Made in Manhattan.
I saw Die Hard. I saw the one Die Hard with what's his face? Jai, the young guy. Remember they had the Die Hard.
the
and it
fourth
was,
one. Live
Free
Free
or
Die Hard.
was that the one with the younger guy, or was that the one
That's
after
5.
that?
That's 5.
That's 5.
Oh, that's the one with
That's
Sam
Jai-
Washington.
just- he plays his son.
He played Jai Eugene. Yeah.
I
Oh
watched
shit,
that.
Timothy Olyphant was in Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah.
That was
Maggie
good.
Q was in that one. That's a good one.
Justin Long? Wow, I need
Justin
to rewatch
Long.
this.
Justin Long was his.
I heard that was okay.
Justin Long was his computer hacker friend.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Olyphant was the bad guy.
was the bad guy.
God,
And
do
they
you
had
know the
the
draft-
they had the jet in the freeway. That was cool.
That one was good.
That was
And
good.
and he drove a cop car into a helicopter. He
Yes.
just ramped it up. That was great.
I'd argue the first, man. I remember seeing the first. I saw Die Hard 2 first. That was the first Die Hard.
Oh,
I ever
really?
saw. Man, when he
Die Hard
lit,
2?
when he lit that plane on fire, bruh.
Oh, right. That was great.
I went crazy. Yippee-ki-yay. I was like, let's go.